Coming up, recent measles increase threatens elim stratus.
Taylor Swift's music is back on TikTok.
Master start delayed due to bad weather.
Plus weather, entertainment, and sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. I'm Sylvia Mania.
And I'm Alina Landetta.
Measles cases are on the rise, and that could result in a change of classification. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says there's been more than 100 cases of measles in the U.S. since January. According to Thursday's report from the CDC, officials say if there's a major spread, measles could lose its elimination status. In 2000, measles were officially eliminated, which means there have been no outbreaks for at least a 12-month period. However, from 2020 through March of this year, more than 300 cases were confirmed in the U.S. Officials say over the past few years, numerous outbreaks came from under-vaccinated areas in some New York City communities. The CDC says measles is very contagious and is encouraging people to get a measles shot to help prevent it from spreading. Measles can be fatal, especially for children, but lesser symptoms include fever, cough, and rashes.
The Lieutenant Governor of Georgia will be investigated for his alleged role as a fake elector connected to the 2020 Georgia election interference case. Thursday, State Prosecutor Peter Skandalakis said he has appointed himself to investigate whether Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones violated the law. Jones was one of 16 alleged fake electors accused of trying to help former President Donald Trump overturn the state's 2020 election results. Jones was a state senator at the time. Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis was disqualified from investigating Jones. A judge said Willis could not move ahead with a case against him after she hosted a campaign fundraiser for his political opponent. As director of the bipartisan group that oversees all prosecutors in the state, Skandalakis was responsible for finding a replacement for Willis. Jones issued a statement saying he is happy to see the process move forward and looks forward to a quick resolution.
SUNY Plattsburgh Student Athletics hosted a Special Olympics field day. PS News reporter Zoe Rice has more.
For the first time ever, SUNY Plattsburgh partnered with Special Olympics to host a field day for local Special Olympic athletes. Amanda Cohen and Lauren Haley are juniors on the women's soccer team. They're also a part of the Plattsburgh State Student Athlete Advisory Committee, which allowed them to put together this event.
Division III has a partnership with Special Olympics, so I thought it was time that we'd bring something to our campus. So with Lauren Haley, we reached out to Lee Howard, who does the North Country Special Olympics, and she reached out to local schools and local organizations, and we were able to get some athletes over here from a local center and then that are on Special Olympics teams. So we held a field day, which was just open gym style. Our athletes got to play with them, and it was a really great opportunity for everyone.
Special Olympics is a global movement of people creating a space for inclusion and community, where everyone is accepted and welcomed regardless of ability or disability.
I find Special Olympics and unified sports to be very important because they show that anybody can be an athlete and it brings the community together.
The event was a success with the athletes and university receiving high praise from participants and faculty.
We had really great feedback from our Unified Field Day this past Saturday. The Special Olympics coach that came with our athletes said that we went above and beyond. We didn't have to do as much as we did to make our athletes as excited as they were. And then faculty from the local day center, again, emphasized the fact that their athletes were super excited to be there, and any events like this would make their day.
As a result of the great efforts from Plattsburgh's athletes and large turnout, the university plans to continue with future events.
Because of our successful efforts this past Saturday, we have the opportunity to bring in a local high school this Thursday and have a basketball game where our athletes will be on the team with this unified team, and we'll have a game just like our school would do it. They'll be announced onto the court, and there'll be refs, and it'll be fun. And again, it just brings the community together and shows that anybody can play together and be athletes.
SUNY Plattsburgh's Special Olympics recognition was a success. In Plattsburgh for PS News, I'm Zoe Rice.
Mortgage rates drifted slightly higher this week on the heels of disappointing March inflation numbers. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 6.88% in the week ending April 11th, up from 6.82% the previous week. A year ago this time, the rate was just over 6.25%. Although rates have stayed steady in recent weeks, higher than expected inflation numbers could move things in the wrong direction. With those persistent price pressures, economists aren't expecting mortgage rates to fall below 6% at any point this year.
Harvard University will once again require students to submit SAT or ACT test scores with their applications for admission. Harvard's Faculty of Arts and Sciences announced that the new policy on Thursday. It will apply to students seeking admission in fall of 2025. This makes Harvard the latest Ivy League school to bring back required test scores after a pause promoted by the pandemic. University officials cited data from the National Bureau of Economic Research, showing standardized test scores are better predictor of success in the college and beyond. University officials said the scores are an important tool in identifying promising students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds with fewer resources. Harvard also said in some cases, when the SAT or ACT is inaccessible, other forms of testing like AP and IB tests will be accepted. Dartmouth College, Yale, and Brown University announced similar changes in recent weeks.
Right after this short break, a look at your local weather. Stay tuned.
The Student Association stands by their motto of students servicing students. They provide funding for student-run clubs and organizations. Also, activities for students to participate in on campus. In addition, they also provide academic and diversity resources as well as the campus shuttle. Student Association, the pulse of Plattsburgh.
Film Club is a place where people who like movies and want to discuss movies can watch and discuss with other people with the same interest.
I really love the discussion of Film Club and just getting to talk with all different kinds of people with their favorite genres and everything else in the film world, whether it's big blockbusters or small indies.
We meet in Yoakum 205 at 5 p.m.
Meteorologist Marcel Gibbs. Let's take a look at your weather map. Now we're seeing temperatures that I like to see. 60s, finally. We're having some spring weather for once. Oh my God, it's been horrible. We got 63 for Owl's Head, 62 for Vermontville, 60, 60, 60s. Let's keep it going. 61 for Dannemora, 63 for Osceola Fort, 65 for Plattsburgh, easy medium, 67 for St. Albans City, and 66 for Wilson. Now let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Now, despite the temperatures going up, it seems that our sun is not coming to stay. We got 65 for Friday and rain and clouds and no sun at all. Saturday, the rain leaves, but the temperature goes down and the sun is still not made an appearance with mainly cloudy, 49. Sunday, we got 56, the temperature going up, but the sun's still not making an appearance and the rain has come back. What is happening here? Monday, finally, we see some sun, not as much since the clouds are still making its appearance. Temperature goes up by a nice 2 degrees, so at least that's something. And then Tuesday, the clouds, rain, finally leaves us for once, and we got a temperature of 61, sunny. Let's hope it stays. Now that's all I got for weather. Back to the desk for entertainment news.
Tay-Tay and TikTok are back together. Music from Taylor Swift returned to the social media platform on Thursday after being gone for a few months. In January, Universal Music Group said its licensing agreement with TikTok was expiring. They then took music from their artists, including Swift, from the site. The statement also made reference to TikTok not playing, quote, fair value for the music. In addition to Swift, other artists under UMG's control include Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, and Rihanna. Music from those artists has still not returned to TikTok, and there's no explanation for Taylor Swift's return. The global singer-songwriter is scheduled to release her 11th studio album on April 19th. The 14-time Grammy winner's new album is titled The Tortured Poets Department.
World-renowned classical pianist Lang Lang just got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Star number 2,778 on the walk was officially unveiled at the Hollywood Boulevard ceremony for Lang on Wednesday. His star was awarded in the category of live performance. Lang's albums have sold millions of copies featuring chart-topping classical music. Time named him one of the world's 100 most influential people. He performed for elite VIP audiences, including former President Barack Obama, Pope Francis, and the late Queen Elizabeth II. Lang has also teamed up with mainstream artists from various genres, including Metallica, Pharrell Williams, and Herbie Hancock.
An original performance titled This Is How We Walk on the Moon took place over the weekend. PSTV's Jaden McLeod has more.
The theater department conducted an original performance over the weekend inspired by the solar eclipse that took place Monday, April 8th. The performance was held in the John Myers building inside the Black Box studio. I was able to sit down with Julia Devine, the director of the play, before the show kicked off.
Came from the idea that we're going to have a total eclipse in Plattsburgh about a year and a half ago. When I learned that we were in the path of totality, I thought I should totally make a show about that. And I had a geodesic climbing dome in my backyard for my kids. And I said, that's going to be the set. And so we brought the dome to campus, and that really was what we started with for this production. Well, we made this show from scratch. So we started in February, meeting a few evenings a week, and I created a map for everyone, and we've sort of filled it in. We have original writing and drawing and projections and climbing of the dome and original music. It's sort of an amazing display of student creativity. They're going to expect an experience, and I think it will maybe deepen their appreciation of outer space, get them excited to see the eclipse and more of a cosmic awareness. Yeah.
The theater department is holding another performance here in the John Myers building titled John Proctor is the Villain. The performance was being held on April 25th, 26th, 27th at 7:30 p.m. For PSTV News, I'm Jaden McLeod.
Sylvester Stallone allegedly used disparaging language on the set of his series Tulsa King, which now streams on Paramount+. Paramount is looking into the claims which first surfaced on social media. The legendary actor is accused of referring to background actors as ugly, a tub of lard, and a fat guy with a cane. Sources say Stallone was overheard telling the director, quote, "Bring in the pretty young girls to be around me." The director, Craig Zisk, told TMZ that the quote, no such insults were made. No formal complaints have been logged against Stallone or Zisk. Season 2 filming is underway, and the investigation is not altering production plans in any way, according to a source.
A judge in Los Angeles has approved comedian Jay Leno's request for conservatorship of his wife's estate. The former Tonight Show host filed a petition requesting conservatorship last January. The 73-year-old's wife, Navis, suffers from dementia and can no longer independently handle her own financial affairs. Her lawyer was in court on Tuesday and said Miss Leno agrees with the conservatorship. The lawyer added Mavis Leno is receiving excellent care from her husband. The judge agreed and said the conservatorship is needed for the 77-year-old's protection. The couple has been married for more than 43 years. Right after the break, your PS Sports Update. Stay tuned.
Warp Radio runs on Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10 here on campus. It gives Plattsburgh students an opportunity to be a radio DJ and see if that's something they have interest in for a future career path. You're listening to WARP, Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10, Plattsburgh, New York.
Welcome back. I'm Alex Duval with your PS Sports Update. Ipei Mizuhara has agreed to surrender to federal authorities in Los Angeles on Friday. The former interpreter to one of the biggest stars in baseball is charged with stealing $16 million from his client. The U.S. Attorney in Los Angeles announced the federal bank fraud charges against Mizuhara Thursday. Prosecutors say Los Angeles Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani is considered to be a victim in this case and was not aware of the crime. Mizuhara was fired last month after Ohtani's lawyers accused him of theft, but the prosecution alleges that Mizuhara impersonated Ohtani, lying to bank employees to get access to the funds to fuel his gambling addiction. According to the filing, when Mizuhara won, he did not replace the money to Ohtani's account, routing the winnings to his bank instead. Prosecutors say Mizuhara admitted to the sports bookmaker that he was stealing from Ohtani in a text message. If convicted, he could face up to 30 years in prison. The start of the Masters was delayed Thursday morning due to bad weather at Georgia's Augusta National Golf Club. The first round of players were originally scheduled to tee off at 8 a.m., but they were pushed back to 10:30 of that morning as well. This is the 6th year in a row the storied golf tournament has faced delays at some point because of weather, as the Masters is now in its 88th year. Golf fans will have plenty of star power to watch on the links, as defending winner of the tournament, John Ram, won the green jacket last year and will compete against world #1 Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and 5-time winner Tiger Woods. O.J. Simpson died Wednesday at age 76. His family announced his passing on social media. They said he had lost his battle with prostate cancer, surrounded by his children and grandkids. The former NFL star and broadcaster's athletic achievements brought him fame, but they were eclipsed by his 1995 acquittal and the brutal killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. He later lost a multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit brought by the families of his ex-wife Ann Goldman. In 2007, police arrested him in Las Vegas on several felony charges, including kidnapping and armed robbery. Simpson and armed accomplices raided a hotel room in what he called an attempt to just get back to some of his stolen belongings. He went to jail, and he was released on parole 9 years later. The Houston Astros traveled to Kansas City to take on the Royals in the last game of a 3-game series. They took the first 2 games of the series and are looking to avoid the sweep. We go to the bottom of the first inning with runners on second and third base. Vinny Pasquantino with a 2 RBI single and a line drive to center field, giving Kansas City an early 2-0 lead. We stay at the bottom of the first with runners on second and third base again. Nelson Velasquez with a base hit to right field, an RBI single for the Royals outfielder, as the Royals would now lead 3-0. Staying in the bottom of the first, with runners on second base, Nick Lofton with a 2 RBI single to center field, extending the Royals' lead now to 5. Again, we stay at the bottom of the first. Runners on second and third base. Michael Garcia, a 2 RBI single to center field, clears the bases for Kansas City, and the Royals now lead 7-0. Again, bottom of the first. Bobby Witt Jr. with a 2-run homer to right field. That extends Kansas City's lead to 9. Those 11 hits in the first inning ties a franchise record for most hits in an inning, which has been matched twice before in Royals history. We go to the top of the fourth. Victor Caratini with a line drive to second base. Nick Lofton hurdles over Bobby Witt Jr. and makes the throw out at first base. Look at that play. That is unbelievable. Kansas City still leads 9-1. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Royals with a runner on third base. Vinny Pasquantino again. An RBI double to right field. And again, the Royals now lead 10-3. Just an unreal game offensively. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Bobby Witt Jr., a 3-run blast to right center field. That extends the Royals' lead again. Witt Jr. homered twice with 4 hits and 5 RBIs in the game as the Royals win this one 13-3. extending their lead to 7. That's all I have for this edition of PS Sports. Now back to the desk.
Thank you for watching PSTV News. I'm Sylvia Mania.
And I'm Elena Landetta. Check us out on our social medias at Plattsburgh State TV.
Have a good weekend, Plattsburgh.